Hey guys, so I had a pack of beef stew meat in my fridge that I had bought with the intention of making some beef stew. But then I opened my fridge and I saw my jar of leftover red enchilada sauce and a pack of corn tortillas. So I thought it'd be a better idea to make some red chilaquiles together. Okay, this looks like a lot of ingredients, but mainly because of all the spices that I'm gonna put on the meat. You don't need all these spices. You could do just an all-purpose seasoning, but I have about 1.5 pounds of beef stew meat because I'm gonna make it beef red chilaquiles. Some corn tortillas. You could use just pre-made chips if you want. We're gonna deep fry some ourselves. The jar of leftover red enchilada sauce that I had. Look for my video on a recipe for that. Oil, flour, chicken bouillon, water, some cheese of your liking. This is just quesadilla cheese. And then for seasonings, I have chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, some oregano, cumin, and then salt. Just trying to mimic the seasonings that and the flavors that are in this enchilada sauce. Okay, so you want to take your meat, get those 4 tablespoons of flour in there. The seasonings I kind of just eyeball. The chili powder, I use a little bit heavy. Garlic powder, onion powder. I only have a little bit of oregano left, but that'll do. It's about 1/4 teaspoon. And then my cumin never comes out of the shaker knife, so I usually just open it up. All right, I'm gonna give that a mix. I do have a pan over here heating up with about 3 tablespoons of oil in it. So I'm gonna mix this up and we'll get it cooked up then. The pan has gotten nice and heated up. So I'm going to add my meat in. I'm just gonna do it all in. Normally I would do this in batches, but this is a pretty big pan. And it's all gonna stay in the sauce anyways. So we're gonna do it in one batch, get it nice and browned up. As if any time I tell you to brown meat, make sure you just leave it alone. Make sure it's able to get a nice browning on there. So stir it, spread it out, leave it alone. Okay, I think we are ready to add the sauce. So I'm just going to pour my enchilada sauce right in there. I'm gonna shake this up with some water so I can get all of it. And then I'm gonna add the rest of the 4 cups of water. This is gonna look fairly liquidy, but I'm gonna be cooking it for a couple hours on low. So some of this will evaporate, and then the flour that we added to the beef will also thicken it as it cooks. So I'm also going to add about 3/4 tablespoon of chicken bouillon. All right, we're going to give it a cover and we're going to turn it down to low once it starts boiling, and then we're going to cook it for probably 2 hours. We are getting towards the end here. I would say we have probably 30 to 45 minutes left. I just wanted to pull out the meat and just shred it up just a little bit so it's not such big old cubes. Okay, just gonna mash it up a little bit with this little meat masher. I don't want to get it super fine, I just don't want the big old cubes of meat. When I get done with this, I'm gonna toss it back in the sauce. And then I'm probably gonna cook it uncovered for the last 30 or so minutes, just so it does thicken up a little bit more and the liquid can evaporate a little bit more. That looks like about what I want. Back in the sauce. I did turn up the heat a little bit just so I can get to a simmer again with the lid off, it doesn't hold the heat as well. So while we wait for the last 30 or so minutes for that to cook, let's get some chips ready. All right, I got my oil nice and hot. It's about 350 degrees. I cut my tortillas into some triangles, and then I'm just gonna throw them in and start cooking them in batches. So once you get them in there, you just wanna move them around a little bit so they don't stick together. And then let them sit for a little bit. They go pretty quick, so keep an eye on them. All right, those are looking great. Let's get them out and onto some paper towels to drain. Hit them with some salt real quick. And there we go. I'm gonna keep going. Chips are all done. Let's go ahead and make this plate. First thing you want to do is grab your old stained bowl, because if you remember from my enchilada sauce video, this chili sauce will stain it. Throw a nice handful of chips in there. On top of that, I like to throw some cheese so it will get all melty once you put that sauce on there. You need to ladle some sauce in it. As little or as much as you want. Give it a nice gentle mix to make sure you're not breaking up those chips. I'm gonna get this transferred over to a bowl and we'll work on some toppings. All right, of course you can do whatever toppings you want, but these are just some of my favorites. A little bit of raw onion. I like to do a nice runny egg on top. Nice little spray of avocado here. A couple little dashes of cilantro. And then I didn't have Mexican crema, so I just got some sour cream and add a little milk to it so we could drizzle. I know you want some of this.